I'm living in 90 minutes. I'm sorry, Chad. I wish I could stay forever. I wish I could take you to the dentist. They'll clean your teeth. Your rat teeth. Alright, he's missing. We watched a lot of SunnyV2. I'm very curious as to what happened.
So, SunnyV2, someone most people know.
He's cool.
If not, I don't know which rock in the Dune universe you've been under, but SunnyV2 is a content creator that is unfortunately Australian.
That is very unfortunate. Oh, VB, mate!
That makes sure
Long neck! I love that TikTok. I love that TikTok so much.
documentary-style videos about certain subjects.
I love this guy.
Someone
What
that has
happened?
had a huge impact on YouTube as a whole. I personally like to call it the sunnification of YouTube.
Chat, when you do something really well, you're gonna get copycats and imitators. It's just part of the fucking, you know, part of the biz.
When many other
It's just
content creators
business.
like Internet Anarchist, who must have had some form of telepathy at some point, because I was going to make a video and then discovered he had made a video on the same topic with the same things I was going to say. I swear he has a keylogger on my PC, and I know who you use.
No, I don't think it's even that deep. I think people are like on the same wavelength in terms of IQ. It sucks. It sucks. It's happened to me before. I've talked about something on stream, and then fucking someone else says it word for word and posts a video about it like 2 days before I posted. I'm like, fuck, son of a bitch.
Used to be anarchist, used to be a TF2 degen. But anyway, no hard feelings. But SunnyV2's editing style, thumbnails, sometimes even his tone of voice, and those white particles he used to use in his videos, have inspired a lot of other content creators here on YouTube, and some others have just straight up replicated it. There's even a tutorial to edit like SunnyV2. His videos have gone to the point where people that aren't involved with every drama or controversy or the inner
Dude, one day there's gonna be a tutorial on how to be SmugAlana, dude. One day! You'll see in 5 years, maybe.
web of YouTube in general. I'm refraining from using the word normie, but they all tune in to see what topic he'll cover next, leading to many of his videos getting a lot of attention. There's many reasons why Sunny saw this success from his content. It could have been down to the specific topics he covered, some being viewed as niche, or his captivating editing style, or producing these seemingly high quality videos every week, or all of the above. But I imagine it must be absolute torture using Adobe After Effects to make his videos. Every time I use it, I feel like I'm driving a car with an unborn fetus as a steering wheel.
Someone I knew that edited some videos for me said that Adobe After Effects crashed so much they actually switched to something else. Same with Sony Vegas. Why does it crash so often? AE and Sony Vegas are criminal.
Thank you. I will stick with my Premiere Pro, which induces anger issues every time I accidentally move a panel and it just vanishes to the temporal realm or just messes up my entire layout. But the least you could say is SunnyV2's editing style is very captivating.
Yes.
It gets the attention of those little neurons bouncing around in your head. And most of the topics he covered were easily applicable and understandable by most people, even if they aren't that internet savvy or fully informed. But SunnyV2 didn't just spawn out of nowhere and have instant success. He's actually been on YouTube even before he was named SunnyV2. He was actually previously named Might of Sun. This dude really is a boner for astrology. From this previous channel, you can find a recognizable voice.
Oh my god, Red and Champa efficiency? Ranging versus rangeless? Two-tick woodcutting? Training Slayer on RuneScape? Eyes barraging smoke devils. Dude, this guy actually loves fucking RuneScape, dude. This is so cute!
He's commentating over some old school RuneScape gameplay, showing you some tips and tricks. Which compared to his latest videos, for some reason, he has a lot more emotion in his voice.
Hi guys, Sun here, and this video is going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to be testing whether or not you get better XP rates when you're making the effort.
This was from—
It's because he lives in Australia and it slowly drains the soul out of you over time. Yeah, like you start off as a child and you grow into a teenager, and then by the time you're an adult, it drains your balls because it's so hot over there.
from 2015 to 2016,
He was
as he would
happy
eventually
then,
give up making RuneScape videos, apparently due to interest in other games. This is where we finally saw the name SunnyV2, where he supposedly live streamed and uploaded Fortnite videos with his face cam on. Now I say supposedly because he would start unlisting and deleting these videos, because he wasn't going to be known for his Fortnite or RuneScape videos. He would instead be known for his documentary and commentary videos, something he would start uploading in March of 2020.
Ooh, that's a good time to fucking do that. He popped off at the right time. Damn!
With his first video being about Boogie298.
That's so good. Boogie in peak epidemic when he was like hoeing out with strippers. That's great, dude. I'm telling you, chat, if you... I don't know, man. Like, obviously this was a hobby for him at first because he did like RuneScape videos. You gotta start somewhere, man.
And after some success from that video, he would continue uploading similar videos, eventually hitting 100,000 subscribers in July of the same year. Once again, in some of his earlier content, his voice was a lot less monotone. He gave his opinion a lot more often on the topics he was covering. He actually implemented his own face a lot into his content and threw jokes in there as well. He would later phase this out of his content either to make it seem more professional or for the focus of the video to be the editing and the topic itself.
Probably also less likely to get sued as well. If you make a video criticizing someone like this, they could sue you. If he's smart, that probably is why he did it. I would do that personally. I'd be like, I can't give my opinion anymore. I don't want some motherfuckers suing me for slander. Yeah. You're just being objective.
If you look at one of his earlier videos compared to one of his latest, it's very much polarizing. He also didn't directly engage with his fanbase or even collaborate with any other YouTubers. But these changes and characteristics worked in his favor. He eventually reached 1 million subscribers in 2022 and then 3 million by the end of the same year. His content was everywhere and was receiving a lot of
fucking Baldy
attention, but this increase in attention did not come without its fair share of controversy. His most prominent being the Ava Chris Tyson video, where he talked about how they would be a big problem for Mr. Beast in the future.
This definitely popped the fuck off because of that. Yeah, he was like a mind reader. He knew what was gonna happen.
And some believed he framed the video in a way that them transitioning was a bad thing for Mr. Beast. Of which everyone then promptly threw their fecal matter at SunnyV2, including Mr. Beast himself. And he was
vindicated,
labelled transphobic due to this situation and apparently misgendering somebody in a previous video. In response, Sunny basically did nothing. He kept the video up but just changed the title from Why Chris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for Mr. Beast to How Will the Chris Tyson Situation Impact Mr. Beast? And didn't even acknowledge all the hate he was getting. But the former title...
Absolute Giga Chat didn't respond to any of the hate, kept pumping videos, and just knew that this was gonna happen inevitably. Absolutely
would be somewhat correct. And I don't know if he had a crystal ball when he was making that title, because like a year later, there was in fact a controversy that seriously affected Mr. Beast, primarily sourced from Ava Chris Tyson and their involvement with people like Shadman, and some other weird things they did. Of which, after this happened, everyone returned to that SunnyV2 video, basically saying he was correct, and people even made memes about it.
They called me a madman. And what I predicted came to pass.
Yep.
Some of the top comments changed from people calling him transphobic and critiquing the video to people showing support for him. Another common criticism he also faces, and why some people also don't like his content, was down to when he was covering topics. Some saying he only looked at the surface layer of them, and most of the time only focusing on the negative parts while making it seem significantly worse than it actually was. Common examples used are, for example, his Ninja video, where he basically said he's a dead creator now when he's still a well-known name to this day, just no.
But he's not as known as he was. The only reason people know who Ninja is now is from what he did 5 years ago. I don't know. His Ninja video is truly a hate video, but it's not true. He did fall off, technically speaking. Like from a numbers point of view, like, yeah, he did fall off. I didn't. Yeah, he's not on top anymore. Why is that like a bad thing?
Not at his peak when Fortnite was popping off. But once again, he is still doing well for himself.
Yeah, well!
And people stated as such in the comments. Another example is his video on Paddy Pimblett, basically saying he had ruined his reputation and possibly his career, but it was only somewhat of a lull in his career, and he's doing fine now. I still can't get that one video of him singing Where's Your Head out of my head. And another video that I wouldn't...
And again, I can also say that he was actually calling Ninja a disingenuous liar and shit, actually insulting the guy. Okay, I don't think we watched that one, or maybe I did. No, I didn't watch the Ninja video. I don't know, I've watched like so many videos, chat, you'll have to forgive me. That's different, it's an older video? Yeah, I thought so. We also watched the boxer one, and I mean, like, he fell off again, but, I mean, it's not really falling off if you're still getting paid, right?
Even call a premature ejaculation. It was quite literally spawn camped even when it was still a thought in his head. And that was the Nikocada Avocado video, saying he basically ruined his health and it was essentially downhill from there, of which 2 days later Mr. Avocado would post his infamous 2 steps ahead video showing his...
I mean, who the fuck could have predicted that one, though? This was insane. This was amazing to see.
Dramatic and honestly impressive weight loss, and within 2 days the SunnyV2 video aged like a milk kettle in summer heat. But to be fair, unfortunately Sunny can't tell the future. Yes, some of his videos have not aged well. He does make things more dramatic in his videos than they really are.
Well, that's the point though. That's the whole point. That's his job. I don't know. But everybody makes mistakes in that regard. Yeah, clickbaity videos exist for a reason. It gets attention. The guy's getting his bag, man.
Some of his videos he's made in the past occasionally do miss additional information, and some can be labelled as objectively wrong, like with the Skeppy video. I think he even responded to it and then deleted it. And some people didn't like his latest video, the Plants vs Zombies one, and he does sometimes focus...
Why would you not like that one? Plants vs. Zombie was objectively fucking horrible, and they absolutely took a big fat shit all over it, just like Angry Birds. It had refreshing new mechanics, more ways to play with friends that really enhance... What the fuck? This
and he does sometimes focus on the negative aspects of these topics, but that's somewhat of a norm here on YouTube.
Yeah.
You better have a fucking deviated eye, because I hope you're not looking at me when I said that. But either way, people still really enjoyed his content, and still to this day he sees consistent viewership across all of his videos. They're compact, straight to the point, and visually pleasing. It's probably why a lot of people...
And he puts a lot of effort into it.
...will binge his videos.
Yeah.
But recently there has been some concern from SunnyV2 fans. I know. Peak unemployment, as the weekly uploads have stopped. As of right now, it's been 3 months since he uploaded. And knowing my luck, by the time I upload this, he would have returned. So, please stay away for like another few months, Sunny. But he kind of just disappeared. And in his absence, a lot of people have been theorizing why he left.
He got his wife pregnant, dude.
And once again, it's only been a few months. But because Sunny is characterized to be very to himself, and he doesn't use any form of social media for his channel, there was no announcement or update regarding this absence, which has led people to suggest the absolute worst. And some of these claims are something, and I thought some of these were very interesting, so I thought we'd talk about some of them today. But what do people think happened to SunnyV2?
Here's the unremarkable downfall of some unknown YouTuber by speaking...
YouTuber! God damn it, dude. What is with these insufferable intros, bro?
like a mentally challenged newsreader.
Yeah, people loved SunnyV2 so much and his content, they have grown concerned to the point where they are theorizing what happened to him. It's kind of similar with what happened to Corey Kenshin. He went on a hiatus for longer than a year, and people were concerned where he went, but it turns out he was just doing his own project. But SunnyV2 has been gone for at most 3 months now, and all of his fans are crafting wild theories, and as of making...
I genuinely think, and I hope it's just his wife is pregnant and he's busy. I'm gonna be real. The guy's probably a Giga Chat or some shit. He's just like, I don't have any social media, I'm just gonna come back when I feel like it.
This, there are hundreds of videos basically saying he's given up or dead. But I think the most realistic theory is that he's just taking a break. He uploaded videos with high quality editing every week for years. The process was probably so tedious it probably took him 2 days just to get the first 4 minutes of a video fully edited. Praying to God that his editing software doesn't fail and he loses all the progress for that day, and then later develops PTSD, saving every 4 f***ing minutes because he doesn't want to repeat the equivalent of the Red Dead Redemption starting snow mission again. Yeah, been there, done that. But yeah, he's probably just taking a break. Some people do need to calm down. He uploaded every week for years, so...
What if something happened, like he lost an entire video because it crashed and got corrupted? And it was like 5 hours of like work he did and it just erased everything and he said, fuck that, I'm gonna leave it on the back burner. You don't know, like I've heard of stuff like that happening with people. They're just like, I can't fucking do it. Or just rage quit for a bit, feel like it.
It's only natural he would eventually face things like burnout. Especially when you've only been staring at video editing software and trying to come up with ideas every week, scraping the insides of your brain. And don't get me wrong, it is still easier than a 9 to 5.
Yes.
Acting like you love your job and love speaking to people is definitely worse than anything I just described.
Thank you. Oh my god, someone fucking gets it. People say, oh, Alana, it's your job to stream. And I'm like, yeah, it's a job. Sometimes I get burnt out a little bit, but at the end of the fucking day, I get my own work hours, I get to do whatever the fuck I want. If I really don't want to fucking stream, I can just stop. Like, it's not that fucking bad. Really, it's really not. Streaming's awesome. Still a job, but awesome. An awesome job.
But Sunny will probably be back soon, or maybe he's made his money and he's done, which is quite rare here on YouTube and in content creation in general. Like, you have people like Moist Critical, Kai Senna, and XQC, and many more that have made their money and could retire any time.
Yeah, they
probably
still do
their
it.
whole bloodline for the next 5 centuries. But they don't, either for the love of content creation, or they have general anxiety around how much money they need to have. But if we were to take a philosophical angle, what do you do with your life when you've retired 30 to 40 years early? Like, that is supposed to be endgame shit. What do you do with yourself then? Yeah, you could travel all around the world and...
Why did he have to put him on the screen? Why did he put outdoor boys on the screen? I love this guy. Oh man. I used to watch this shit all the time. Is he okay? He's fine. He's absolutely fine. He's retiring from YouTube though. Yeah, he's giving the reins over to his son. Well, his oldest son anyway. Yeah. He's gonna help him, like, figure shit out himself and teach him the legacy.
Live carefree, but what is gonna motivate you to get out of bed in the morning? Or just motivate you in general? I think sometimes things like a job or hobby give our life meaning more than we think it does. Even if we hate to do it, it's still some objective. And without any goals or objective, life gets somewhat confusing. And that's...
Men are especially susceptible to it. How many times have you heard of, like, your grandpa or your dad retiring and they just don't know what to do with themselves? It's definitely a very male-coded thing, and I think that women also get it, obviously, too, but I think it's a very much a male thing. Yeah. They get, like, they just don't know what to do with themselves. They're like, fuck. Like, now I have to get a hobby or something.
Probably why some people that have already made enough money keep working and keep making content. Yeah, we got a bit too philosophical there for a completely brain-dead topic, but don't worry. What gets me out of the bed in the morning is pissing off War Thunder players and spreading the gospel that is how bad VR chat is. But maybe SunnyV2 made his money and is working on something else that gives him more purpose, and he won't upload ever again, or he's working on a project like Corey Kenshin, or, stay with me now, he's just taking a break. He probably hasn't been assassinated, probably hasn't been killed by Australia's smallest arachnid, and most probably right now is probably spamming old school RuneScape. But probably one of the most interesting theories I saw crafted was the Church of Scientology had something to do with it, since it was mentioned in one of his latest videos. The church...
That could be true. Yeah, maybe they're suing him and he just doesn't want to deal with people speculating and shit.
The Church of Scientology is a religion that believes that humans are immortal spiritual beings, or thetans trapped in physical bodies and experiencing a series of past lives. I do not know a lot about it, but just from reading that, it sounds like multiple isekais. But the Church of Scientology, I'm pretty sure, has churches everywhere in most countries, and there's been weird stories of things like brainwashing to turn you to their religion, and they have great influence in the world, but I don't think any of that has been proven. But Tom Cruise is a part of it, if that helps.
That guy's fucking insane, by the way.
But some people joked that Scientology had something to do with SunnyV2's disappearance. If that is true, Umperville is next, and I have nothing to do with either of them. I think Scientology is cool. If anybody finds my body, it wasn't an accident, just so you know.
Be well, and do try and avoid the tragic path of the sot that led me to my present infirmities and spiritual woes.
So in conclusion, we went over the past of SunnyV2, we looked at some of the common critiques of his content in the past, and I can predict he's just fine, probably taking a break and he'll be back soon, just calm down. If that isn't true and someone is about to flash a news article about him with the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme, just do it now. I probably deserve it. But in other news, I would just like you all to know, you're all losers, and I completed Spore quite recently. Yes, it was a hard journey with many trials and difficulties, but I did it. But yeah, that's all I had to say, and bye-bye.
I had a friend that was super into Spore. Anyway, War Thunder Enjoyer, everybody. Royalty is here. Fantastic. Alana's isekai title, the time I was reborn as a VTuber? Hell no, the fuck? The fuck? Reborn as a VTuber? I am a VTuber. If I had a big fluffy tail, that'd be fucking sick.